The Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Nissan. Hop into a Nissan Rogue and hit the road to adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com. By Optimum Fiber, famously fast fiber internet. And by Hyundai, test drive a new Hyundai today, only at your local Hyundai dealer. Well, this is a walk that he's dreamed about his entire young life. He's going to start his first major league game, walk along with his pitching coach. That's Elmer Rodriguez, highly touted, highly thought of, and he'll get the start today against the Texas Rangers. There's a lineup behind him. Trent Grisham in center, Ben Rice at first, Aaron Judge, the DH, and batting third. Cody Bellinger in right field, Jazz Chisholm Jr. at second. Jason Dominguez gets the start in the field, in left field he'll bat sixth. Then it's J.C. Escar, Ryan McMahon, and Jose Caballero play shortstop, and he bats ninth.
That lineup will face this veteran right-hander, Nathan Eovaldi, a familiar foe, former Yankee, former a lot of teams. He's been around the block. 9 home runs. Kind of jumps off that page, and let's give you a little bit more in our Nissan pitcher scouting report. Now, that 15-year veteran, I mean, that just says a lot. He's still getting it done. Kitchen sink arsenal. Number 1 usage is a split finger, but he's got 6 different pitches and variations, and fastball damage this year. On his 4-seam fastball, opposing hitters are hitting .619 with 4 home runs.
36 years old, 15th big league season. Grisham's ready. Eovaldi's ready. And let's do it here in Texas. First pitch outside, we're underway. Grisham 1 for 8 in this series. Yankees have taken the first 2 games, holding on in the bottom of the 9th inning each game. There's a strike. Home plate umpire is Tyler Jones. Ben May at first, John Tumpane at second, and Chris Conroy is the third base ump. One and two. So Eovaldi allowed 6 runs in Friday's loss to the A's, and he allowed 4 home runs in that game. Did he go? Yes, he did, said Chris Conroy. And Grisham down on strikes. Check out the defense of the Rangers, brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Osuna, Carter, and Nimmo left to right. Young, Seager, Duran, and Berger third to first. Former Yankee Kyle Higashioka behind the plate. Jock Peterson will DH. There's Ben Rice, 1 for 8 in this series. The one was a home run. And now he's 2 for 9, a bullet single to right field. Now let's find out what Tyler Jones is about. The Umpire Scouting Report brought to you by your local Kia dealers. He's neutral. He's had 3 calls challenged, 2 overturned. It's only his 2nd game behind home plate this season, 7th of his career, 2nd big league season for Tyler Jones. Here's Aaron Judge, 5 hits and 7 at-bats in this series. "12 home runs, tied with the White Sox Murakami for the most in the American League. Good numbers against Eovaldi in his career, 14 for 43 with 2 home runs. Right in on him, and a check swing ground ball to first. Berger fields and steps on the bag as Rice moves to second. Judge had no idea where the ball was, and then when he saw it stayed fair, he almost started to run, but realized he was out.
It's a good pitch by Eovaldi, and also caught a break. Judge just trying to stop a swing and get out of the way, and the ball hits the bat and stays fair.
Here's Bellinger. And a strike. Evaldi made 22 starts last year, pitched to a 1.73 ERA. Tricep soreness knocked him out for a month early on, then a rotator cuff strain ended his season in late August. And he also had off-season surgery for a sports hernia. Rodriguez going over some last-minute notes with Matt Blake. Just missed.
Surprised he didn't challenge there. Pretty good looking pitch.
Strike 3, and Bellinger is challenging. He thought it was low.
The pitch was called a strike. The batter is challenging.
And it's a strike.
New York has 1 challenge remaining.
So 2 strikeouts for Evaldi. The major league career of Elmer Rodriguez starts in moments. "22-year-old Elmer Rodriguez about to be throwing his first major league pitch. Mom is here. Friends from Puerto Rico, family to take part in this great moment for that family. Let's take a look at the Rangers starting lineup that will face him. Nimmo, Young, and Seager. Seager does not have great numbers lifetime against the Yanks. Peterson, Berger, and Carter. Higashioka, Osuna, and Duran bottom of the order.
And here he is. Nothing like it. Your major league debut. Your heart is thumping through your uniform. You can see his numbers in AAA were exceptional. That's why he's here. He's earned his way here at 22 years old. Just remarkable. Let's tell you a little bit more in our Nissan Pitcher Scouting Report. And another young gun. When you think about the Yankees are starting to pump them out. Schlittler, Warren, now here comes Elmer, and there's more on the way. Pitchability is a big thing with him. He can mix it up, and he knows what he's doing. He gets a lot of grounders.
And his first pitch is upstairs, 1-0. Four starts this year at AAA, 1.27 ERA, and 21 in the third innings. Opponents hit 171 against him. That one just missed, 2-0. This is his first strike. 53rd on Baseball America's top 100 prospects list. And best curveball and best control on their best tools survey.
Could already see a little deception in that delivery. A little bit of a crossfire across his body. Hides the ball.
And there's a walk to Nimmo. Check out the defense for the Yankees. Brought to you by your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. And we're going to take a look at the CarShield defensive player profile on Jason Dominguez. Didn't do well last year in the outfield, -9 outs above average. Tied for 5th worst among major league outfielders. Getting the start today so Aaron Judge could DH. So Nimmo's at first, and the red-hot Josh Young has a 1-0 count against Rodriguez. And a strike. In this moment, David, I know your first game was as a reliever. Is it hard to control your emotions?
Well, it is, yes. The anxiety, your heart rate's up.
It's a good slider.
Watch the crossfire. Boy, there's the secret sauce. You could see the Yankee scouts have been talking about the deception that he has. It's already showing up.
That one just missed. That was his fastest fastball yet at 97.
Yep, just off.
Three and two. Elmer pitched for Puerto Rico in the WBC. 3 shutout innings in a win over Cuba. That was in San Juan. And with Elmer pitching in the WBC, that allowed the spotlight to be on Carlos Legrande during spring training, and he caught a lot of attention as well. Runner goes. There's a strike. Throw to second. Got him. Strike him out, throw him out, double play.
The pitch is called a strike. The batter is challenging.
So Young is going to challenge. And it's a strike, and it's a double
Both
play.
confirmed. Texas has 1 challenge remaining.
Well, the family can breathe a sigh of relief. And now they're meeting at the mound.
Nimmo standing on second base as if there's something going on, whether they're ruling.
Runner at second is out as well. Play is not reviewable.
What were they reviewing? He was so far out. Maybe he stopped running because he thought it was ball 4, but that's his bad.
Not sure what that was all about, but I know what that's all about. That's a proud mama right there. And that'll get your heart rate down, you know. Leadoff guy on, now you got to strike him out, throw him out.
And that challenge was so gigantic because it would have been a walk first and second, nobody out, but they upheld the strike, and that made the caught stealing in effect as well. So 2 outs right there. Big challenge. 0-2.
Settle into your rhythm, right? All of a sudden now you're 0-2 after that. Strike him out, throw him out.
1-2.
He's got a sinker. He's got a 4-seamer. We've seen it up to 97. There was his changeup. Got a sweeper and a curveball. He's got the full package.
2-2.
That was what was so impressive about Elmer to the Yankees organization, is how polished he is. It's not like he needs to learn another pitch. All his pitches are there. It just comes down to execution and reps. He's never had bigger reps than he's getting right now.
And there's ball 4. So he's gone to 3 balls on the first 3 batters, and he has 2 walks. And again, one of his good tools is great control, so maybe a little nervous right now.
Absolutely. To be expected.
Here's Jock Peterson. Into center field. Grisham is there. And Elmer Rodriguez has 1 major league inning under his belt. It's a shutout inning. What's the delight of mom? Play FanDuel's Daily Dinger for free every day for a chance at a profit boost if your selected player hits a home run. And here are the featured home run odds for today's players. Aaron Judge plus 290 and Ben Rice plus 470. Here's Jazz Chisholm Jr. 1 for 8 in the series. Evan Carter robbed him of an extra base hit in the first inning last night.
Now he's swinging the bat much better, even though he's only 1 for 8. He's hit the ball on the button several times.
Oh and 2.
It's hard to guess with a veteran like Nathan Eovaldi because he's got a kitchen sink for you.
And swinging over the splitter, third strikeout for Eovaldi.
Well, this is his go-to pitch. There's always that split finger, and you can see the subtle little late movement, diving down and away.
He is not comfortable with his four-seamer yet. He said he feels like every time he throws it, it gets hit. He said I have to do a better job of getting it down in the zone because it sets up my splitter. And there's a strike to Jason Dominguez. Jason, 1 for 8 in the series. One and 1. Incredible average against that fastball. Eovaldi is the rare 2-time Tommy John surgery pitcher that has made good. Had it in high school, and he had it ending his Yankee tenure in 2016. First base, Berger, and off the glove of Eovaldi as it goes into the Ranger dugout, allowing Dominguez to go to second.
Get another look. You can see Berger's, he's asking Nathan, did I not give it to you in the right spot? You can see he just did a little stutter step to try to multitask there. The pitcher's got to find the ball and the bag at the same time, and he gets caught in between. Kind of looks down to find the bag and didn't catch the ball first.
And it is Eovaldi who gets the error, E1. Dominguez now in scoring position for J.C. Escarra. Foul back to the screen.
You know, one thing that seems like it's for certain, Michael, now, at least for the foreseeable future, and I know Meredith knows more about this, but Jason Dominguez is here to stay with the release of Randall Grichuk. A lot of thought about, oh, he's just going to DH for a while, or maybe, you know, will he land? Well, he's back.
Well, I asked Boone about that, and he said, we'll see. He said, you know, you have to weigh what's best for the team, and also you have to weigh what's best for the player, because they wanted Dominguez to get 500 at-bats this year somewhere, and even if he stays up here, he's not getting 500 at-bats. But that's a decision the Yankees have to make as Escarra strikes out. 2 down.
They also want to win a World Series, and in order to do that, you need your best players here. And that's the splitter, down and out over the plate.
4 strikeouts for Eovaldi, and here is Ryan McMahon. He had his 5-game hitting streak snapped last night. It was interesting being part of the Boone press conference today. There were a lot of we'll sees. He was non-committal on a lot of things, and on Dominguez, whether he's staying or not, whether Cruz, if he pitches great, can stay up here, we'll see. And then even about Volpe, when he's coming back, and if he comes back, would he play at shortstop every day? Another we'll see.
Very telling. If you interpret Booneisms, that's very telling.
Yes. The 1-2. Didn't go. 2-2. Second inning. Yankees looking for the sweep. 0-0. Into center field. Carter went back, now comes in, makes the play, and that'll do it. Yankees strand a runner. Will go to the bottom of the second.
Welcome back to Globe Life Field. I'm Meredith Morakovitz as Elmer Rodriguez is out on the mound for his second inning of work. Earlier today, I spoke to Yankees pitching coach Matt Blake about Elmer Rodriguez, and he told me he is calm, he is poised, he is in a good place as he prepares to make his major league debut. He said you wouldn't know that he's making his major league debut. He is so calm. Blake then joked with him, "You've pitched in bigger games than this." Michael, you mentioned him pitching for Team Puerto Rico in the WBC. In speaking to Rodriguez yesterday, he said he felt as though that experience, as well as spending a lot of spring training at Major League Camp, really prepared him for this experience. When I asked him how he keeps such a slow heartbeat on the mound, he said it wasn't always like that. It's taken some hard work to remain calm on the mound. But I tell myself, don't rush when I'm out there. Take your time and execute your pitches. You know he has to have some butterflies today, but so far, so good for Elmer Rodriguez.
He's the youngest Yankee to get a start since Davy Garcia, who was 22 years old in 10 days. Elmer is 22 years old in 254 days. Rodriguez hails from Trujillo Alto, Puerto Rico. Swing and a miss. Berger down on strike. Second strikeout. Let's look at his arsenal on StatCast 3D by Google Cloud.
Well, he kind of leads with the sinker. That's why he had a high ground ball rate in AAA, the sixth highest ground ball rate in AAA in early April. And you can see there it is, the curveball changeup. We just saw the slider, more of a sweeper. That thing right there had 17 inches of horizontal movement on it. That's pretty good.
Popped up. McMahon runs out of room. He's only the fourth pitcher from Puerto Rico to make a start for the Yankees. The others, Ed Figueroa, Javi Vasquez, and Ricky Bonas.
Good names.
Right field, Bellinger. 2 outs. Ed Figueroa was a pretty important Yankee starter.
Yes, he could pitch. Underrated, undervalued in my opinion. Not by his teammates.
Helped win 2 championships for the Yankees in '77 and '78. Came from the Angels with Mickey Rivers for Bobby Bonds. What a trade. Pitch outside to Higashioka. There's a base hit center field. Higashioka. First hit against Rodriguez.
Higgy's always been a good fastball hitter. Yankee fans remember him. He's got a little pop, too. Fastball right in the heart of the plate. Higgy sent it right back to where it came from.
Here's Alejandro Osuna. One and 0. Long time out of the box. First base umpire Ben May looking into the Rangers dugout. And now Chris Conroy's coming down from third. Are they challenging something?
Early on the field is no hit by pitch. Texas is challenging.
It's nice of him to tell us that.
Where did it hit him? The ball didn't ricochet. Yeah, maybe the top of the shoe on the back foot.
Shoelaces.
They're looking at it on the big board. If anything, it's the top of the foot, the back foot. Enough to overturn?
No way. No way you could do that.
The batter never ran to first.
There's no way you can call that a hit batter.
Oh, here we go.
After review of the call, the field stands. There's no hit by pitch. Texas will lose its challenge.
What an odd challenge. Three and 0. So far in these first two innings, his command is not as sharp as advertised. He's around the play. He's not wild, but he's not throwing consistent strikes. There's a strike. Strike two.
Of his two different types of fastballs, that sinker, I think, is the headliner. That's got good movement on it down.
Runner goes. And the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs fouled away.
You know, even though he's got above average velocity with his four-seamer, he's not a big riding fastball, vertically induced type, rising fastball guy, but that sinker's real.
That one just missed. Third walk. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Got to bring up Duran. Swing and a miss. That slider kind of takes a left-hand turn.
It does. It's nice. It's got a curveball to go with it, so a couple of different kinds of breaking balls.
Now you see on Elmer's right sleeve, everyone making their major league debut in baseball gets a little patch on that right sleeve, and then that patch will be put into a a trading card pack. Strike two. That's been going on the last couple of years. Pretty cool. So, up in the count 1-2.
I didn't get a patch.
They didn't invent them when you played.
They gave me Billy Connor's old jersey. They didn't give me a new jersey when I got traded to the Yankees.
That must have been big on you. Billy was a big man.
The 3.6 rode high on my back. If you go back and look at my debut, it was a little ill-fitted.
That one's looped into right field. It's a base hit. Higashioka coming home. They hold him up. The throw is cut off by Rice. They waved him and then stopped him as Bellinger came up throwing.
See that sinker inside. Good job by Duran to fight that pitch off. And, of course, Belly and right tonight, of course, he's going to come up clean and with a hard throw right on the money. Guy can play anywhere.
And Matt Blake wants to settle down his young pitcher.
It's a good visit. You still got 2 outs right here, even though they're loaded. Make sure you know what you're doing.
Now, I'd like to clean up something from yesterday. A lot of people asked, why were the Rangers allowed to challenge that last double play when they had failed in their challenge, meaning they lost it earlier? There's a codicil to the rule that from the 8th inning on, you can ask the umpires, and it could be their discretion to actually give you another challenge. And I think that's a terrible rule, because you should hold on to your challenge when you really believe in it. But the umpires can bail you out by giving you the challenge they got at the end of the game.
It's interesting. Yes, and debatable.
All right, so here's Nimmo. He walked in the first inning. Bases loaded. Bottom of the second inning. Rodriguez is up to 40 pitches. One and 0.
Just slow it down when you're in this spot as a rookie making your debut. Pitch to pitch. Make a good pitch. You're 1 pitch from out of it.
Fly ball, left center, and Grisham cuts over to make the play. And Rodriguez shakes his head, but he works out of trouble. MLB Plus is new for 2026. Stream MLB Network 24/7 and select out-of-market games every week, plus live radio broadcast of every game, game day 3D, big inning, and minor league action. Visit MLB.com/MLB Plus to subscribe today. Nolan Ryan comes from the same town as Nathan Eovaldi. And that's Alvin, Texas.
A lot of scouts used to say, there's Nolan Ryan, there's everybody else. You can't compare to Nolan Ryan.
Here's Jose Caballero.
They have a scale from 20 to 80. They rate fastballs. Nolan Ryan was the 80.
Right.
Everybody else was below that.
And he kept the 80 until his 40s.
Yes.
He threw out a first pitch when he was in his 60s. I think he clocked at 85 in his 60s.
Yeah, he almost ripped Jim Sundberg's arm off.
You almost have to look at a pitcher like that and say freak of nature.
Yes.
7 no-hitters. Look at all those strikeouts. Only championship was with the Mets. 8-time All-Star, 2-time ERA leader, Hall of Famer, 1999.
They had him and Tom Seaver together, and they broke it up.
Yep. For Jim Fregosi.
Yes.
And Jerry Kuzman and Gary Gentry. It's pretty good staff. First time he ever met Nolan Ryan, Nathan Eovaldi, was when Nathan was a Yankee. Fly ball center field, Carter. One down. By the way, if you're keeping score at home, they've changed the scoring decision on Dominguez reaching. They took the error away from Nathan Eovaldi and they gave it to Berger, which doesn't quite make sense.
No. Definitely not.
Back to the top of the order, and Trent Grisham. And there's the first time they met. Two kids from Alvin. Grisham struck out in the first inning. Popped up. Young makes the play. Two away. And that's going to bring up Ben Rice, the only hit against Eovaldi in the early going, a one-out single in the first. Rice hitting .316, 10 homers, 23 ribbies. Fouled away.
Going to be interesting to see this tandem over the course of a full year working together. Rice and Judge back to back. I think combined homers already, they have more than some teams. I believe it's around 4 or 5 teams they have already more home runs, just those two together.
They've combined for 22. The team leads the majors with 48. Two-one.
The beauty is that he now is a compliment to Judge. Now they have the righty-lefty damage going back to back, and then when Giancarlo's in there, you got 3, and just Rice splits them up.
Into right field, Nimmo coming on, and he slides to make the play. And the Yankees go down in order 1, 2, 3. We'll go to the bottom of the third. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. By your local Tri-State Genesis retailers. Learn more at genesis.com. And by the New York Lottery, this could be your lucky play. You can see from the pictures we just showed you, get it done in a disparate way. You can be a fireballer, a knuckleballer. You could, last for a long time like Tommy John, going a little this, a little bit of that. It's an inexact science. There's no one sure way to do it. Josh Young, first pitch, fly ball to left, 1 out. Here's Corey Seager. He walked in the first, 1 for 8 in this series. Came up in some big spots last night, didn't get it done. Hitting .213. Turned 32 years old on Monday. Looks like Elmer Rodriguez has switched gloves. Went from the Puerto Rican themed glove for the flag colors, and then just a normal glove right now.
It could be he got flagged on it because of the white and all the decorations on there. If a hitter complains, and the umpire will make you switch. Not sure if that's the case, but it's possible.
Janikowski, first base coach, looks like he was complaining about the glove to Ben May.
Ask and you shall receive. How's that from the truck? Top rope.
And before this last half inning, Boone came out and was talking with the home plate umpire, Tyler Jones, so maybe it was about that. Center field. Drifting toward left center, Grisham. Out number 2. All right, today's injury report brought to you by Montefiore Einstein, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Garrett Cole pitched today at Double-A. 5 2/3, 3 hits, 3 runs, didn't walk a batter, struck out 3 through 60 pitches, 45 strikes. It's his 3rd rehab start. And the Yankees still say Rodon is ahead of Garrett Cole, so you'll see Rodon before you see Cole. There's Jock Peterson. And a strike.
And Michael, Garrett Cole is still going to need several more rehab starts before he is back here with the Yankees, through 60 in that one today. And you look at the fact that Carlos Rodon is going tomorrow. The plan for Elmer Rodriguez is to remain up here until Carlos Rodon is ready. They're expecting him to likely need 2 more rehab starts. Also noteworthy, Anthony Volpe is playing for the Patriots today as well. He is 2 for 3 so far on the afternoon.
Thank you, Meredith. The 0-2. Peterson fouls it back, still 0-2. Texas has lost 7 times in its last 10 games, and they just have a hard time scoring runs. Their pitching has been really good. So they score 3.90 runs per game. That's 6th fewest in baseball. And they allow 3.73 runs per game, which is 4th fewest in baseball. Popped up, shallow left, coming on Dominguez. And a clean 1-2-3 inning for the 22-year-old right-hander. Judge leads off the 4th, and he has 12 home runs. We took a look at the exit velocity presented by Spectrum. The average exit velocity, 108.9, average distance, 408 feet. Oh and 1. Judge check, swing, ground ball up the first baseline in the 1st inning. One and 1.
You know, I mentioned last inning, the Judge and Rice combined with their 22 home runs have more than a handful of teams. There's actually 5 teams, but they have just those 2 guys combined more than the entire team. The Red Sox are one of them, the Brewers, the Giants, the Marlins.
Two and 2 on Judge. Judge, Bellinger, and Chisholm here in the 4th.
You got an over and under for the year? They'll both guys stay healthy. Judge and Rice together collectively. Going to hit 100?
Yeah, let's go over on the 97.5.
Okay, there you go. It's a bet.
Nice pitch. Dropped in a curveball. Judge down looking. Now, Rice tied Judge with a home run in the first game, and right away, Judge followed with a home run and took the lead. There's a little bit of a friendly competition going on, right, Meredith?
Well, Michael, not only did he follow, then blasting his 11th of the season, but he hit it even further than Ben Rice. He went back to Rice in the dugout after that and said, "I couldn't let you catch me." Now, Ben Rice spoke in the clubhouse afterwards and said it was a little friendly competition between him and Aaron Judge. He doesn't know how long he's going to be able to keep pace with Judge, but on that night in particular, he was just doing his part. He thought maybe Aaron Judge was getting a little complacent, wanted to just keep him motivated out there. Joking, of course, but when Aaron Judge is asked about Ben Rice, he said people are seeing the results this year, but they knew that this guy could hit. He was barreling it up all of last year. He didn't necessarily have the results to show for it, but they don't look at the start to the season as any type of a fluke for Ben Rice. They believe this is sustainable, and he is that good of a hitter, Michael.
Well, it'll be fun to watch the whole year, those two, as Bellinger laces a single to left field.
I'm going to take the over.
Of 97.5.
Yeah.
Really?
You take the under?
I would take the over because you know me, I'm a glass half full guy. So there has to be, you know, like Mantle and Maris with the M&M boys. There has to be a nickname, and you know Rob Parker, longtime writer, used to write for the Daily News and Newsday, and he texted me, said, "How about the Yard Couple?" And I brought it past our producer, Troy Benjamin, and in a word, Troy hated it. Didn't like the Yard Couple. You know, play on the Odd Couple.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know, Michael. I don't know if I can get on board with that.
You don't like Yard Couple either? Wow.
We're going to keep brainstorming here throughout the game. We'll come up with something a little better.
So, Rob, it wasn't me, bud.
Sorry, Rob.
First it was Troy, and Troy turned Meredith against it as well. And our director, Dan Barr, didn't like it either. I'm gonna run it past Judge.
There's T-shirts at stake here.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, one thing we did learn that Ben Rice does like the nickname from David Cohn, Benny Barrels. He told me that in the postgame.
We did see that, yeah. Still 1-2. Two and two on Jazz, struck out in the second inning. And making Evaldi work.
Evaldi, his usual strike-throwing self. 37 strikes and 14 balls, including 71% on first pitches for strikes. Good guy for Elmer Rodriguez to watch. Get ahead. Use that sinker. Get some easy outs if he can. Go for strikeouts when you have the shot.
Another foul ball. And the veteran Evaldi deals. Another foul ball. No longer the at-bat, advantage batter, right?
Absolutely. The more pitches you see, the more times Jazz gets to see that splitter. The one he struck out on in the first bat, he's now, in his first at-bat, he's now fouling off. He's starting to kind of see it a little better, even though they're all good. Evaldi's got a good splitter today.
So Evaldi will win the battle. Fly ball to center. Carter is there and puts it away. And Bellinger heads back to first.
Just a little bit out in front of that backdoor breaking ball, and he knows it.
Here's Jason Dominguez. Reached on an E3 in the second. Big cut.
One thing about a split finger fastball like Evaldi's featuring today is that you don't really need a lot of separation in terms of velocity from your fastball to your splitter as you would with your changeup, because the splitter is more like a super sinker. The harder you throw it, that's fine, because you're going to get the movement down.
And that got Dominguez, and he is in some pain. Tim Lentich, you could see, manipulating the area, and Dominguez still in some pain. Hopefully it just got the funny bone.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. It's kind of like when you hit your funny bone, but not really. Checking the strength. You don't really know, how bad it is, and if there's a fracture or anything like that, you need an X-ray. Well, that's what Tim is trying to do right there. Just check and make sure and get the feeling back, and he still has strength.
Last thing he wants to be is hurt and out of the lineup. So he will take first. So that brings up Escara. So playing off your barrel nickname, how about this? Creighton Barrel.
Oh, okay.
Playing off Creighton Barrel.
Yes, of course. Yeah. Okay.
1-0 on Ascar. He struck out in the second inning.
You're always going for a sponsorship opportunity, aren't you?
Trying to, make the network money. One and one. Ascar getting the start behind the plate. Day game after night game. Wells with a home run last night. So Ascar could give his pitcher a lead right here. Top of the fourth inning, 0-0. The veteran Eovaldi against the rookie Rodriguez. Grounded to first. And that flip to Eovaldi gets it done. Yankees strand 2. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Cooking up something special with Hexclad. Join the hybrid revolution at hexclad.com. So this has been a great road trip for the Yankees to this point. 7-1 first 8 games. They've scored 43. They've allowed 21. They've hit 16 home runs. Overall ERA 2.28. Now, when you look in Yankee history, if the Yankees could win today and go 8-1, it would be the third best road trip of 9 or more games in team history. Well, this is not a great sign as Dominguez is out of the game and Max Schumann takes over in left field.
Now you know why he was called up, Max Schumann, because he could play all over the field in case of emergency, and this is an emergency.
Now it shows you how timing is so important. So to make room for Rodriguez, that one's chopped and grabbed there by McMahon. Fires to first. An outstanding play. They released Randall Grichuk before the game.
Such a difficult play made to look so easy. You got turf, you got top spin, you got to go pick it, and then you got to wheel and deal. That's good.
So that's called the ball, and Ascar challenges.
The pitcher's called a ball. The catcher's challenging.
And he's right.
Call's overturned. New York has 1 challenge remaining.
One and one. So when Higashioka got his hit with 2 outs in the second, well, it assured us all that Elmer Rodriguez would not be pitching a no-hitter. There's only one pitcher in big league history who threw a no-hitter in his major league debut, and that was Bumpus Jones for the Reds against the Pirates, October 15th, 1892. Popped up. Caballero.
1892?
Yep. Bumpus Jones.
Wow.
So Bumpus was pitching on the Sandlocks with a local semi-pro team. And so the Reds had him playing an exhibition game. He started in the outfield, moved to the mound, pitched 3 scoreless innings to finish the game. Cincinnati's first baseman and manager, Charlie Comiskey, was impressed, signed him, had him pitch the team's last game of the season 3 days after that exhibition game, and Bumpus pitched a no-hitter. So Bumpus still stands alone.
sweeper swept away.
One and two on Higashioka.
Well, now that you've seen Elmer, you can really see from up here the crossfire action, right? How he throws across his body from where he lands.
Swing and a miss. Good curve. And Elmer Rodriguez has retired 7 in a row. His family loves it. Well, let's check out one of today's player props brought to you by Bet365, where winning is everything. Ryan McMahon to hit 1 or more home runs at plus 725. Audi scoreboard. Yankees and the Rangers, 0-0. The veteran against the kid. Eovaldi against Elmer Rodriguez, making his major league debut. So McMahon will lead it off. It'll be 8-9-1 in the Yankees order against Eovaldi. So Eovaldi came into the game with a 5.79 ERA, certainly pitching better than that this afternoon against the Yanks. And that pitch has been money for him. Oh, and 2. Ten years after his last Tommy John surgery, still throwing the ball hard. Just got a piece. Eovaldi had 2 seasons with the Yankees, 15 and 16. He was 23 and 11, 4.45 ERA.
He's seen a lot of changes in the big leagues. When he first broke in, throwing the ball 100 miles an hour.
Swing and a miss. McMahon down on strikes.
After all those splitters, right on by. 95 works after all the off-speed stuff.
That's his 6th strikeout. His season high this year is 7. Here's Jose Caballero. And a strike. Two-time world champion, one with Boston, one with Texas.
Legendary postseason performances.
Yeah, the signature moment of his career was a great performance in a loss. Pitched in relief in the first 2 games of the World Series, entered Game 3 in the 12th inning of a 1-1 game through 97 pitches. Saved the bullpen, allowed the Red Sox to win the series because of that. On his 97th pitch, Max Muncy led off the bottom of the 18th with a walk-off home run. That ended the longest World Series game in history, and Eovaldi took the loss but saved his team.
And a legend was born.
Grounded softly. That's going to be a base hit for Caballero, and it is.
Well, you could say this is really fortunate, and it is, but this should be a part of Caballero's game, is just put the ball in play. Reach, put it in play, and go. So Ichiro Suzuki in his prime used to get about 50 infield hits a year. Think about that, 200 hits, 50 of them were infield hits. Slap it and run.
Caballero, 12 stolen bases, held there by Berger. Got his 12th last night, and that broke a streak of 4 times in a row getting caught.
Eovaldi very quick to home plate with a slide step.
Higashioka's thrown out 4 of 16 attempted base stealers, which is above average. Two and one. So 3 and 1.
Just by the threat of stealing and Eovaldi changing his delivery has put Grisham in an account leverage spot here.
Hit sharply. That could be 2. There's 1. And there's 2. 4-6-3. We're halfway through. Nothing. It's time to name that Yankee. Brought to you by Prevagen, made for your brain. 262 average, 699 hits, 69 of them home runs, with the Yankees from 69 to 72, then the Indians, and finished up with the Rangers. And the only clue I'll give you, just the best guy you'd ever want to meet. So our producer has some meanness in him. Every single name that Yankee in this series was a 10. The hardest it could be. I guess somebody sprinkled dirt in his Cheerios, huh? And he's even aggravating Aaron Boone, because that time frame of all these questions lately, not in Boone's wheelhouse. And he gets plunked, and you wonder, was that for the Dominguez hit by pitch? One left fielder, another left fielder.
I mean, yeah, I understand the suspicion, but not when you're a rookie and not when you're leading off an inning here in a 0-0 game. Priority number 1 is to win the ball game. There are better opportunities to get somebody if you want. This is not a good opportunity. So I highly doubt that was retaliatory. But you never know.
And he obviously had a relationship with Dominguez. They were in AAA together. And there's a strike. Pretty decent move for a right-hander, right?
Yeah, quick feet.
That one was even closer with a good slide by Osuna to the outfield side. Two and two on Durant. Brent Hedrick, we saw him yesterday. He's heating up for the Yankees. Rodriguez at 73 pitches. He's really not afraid to throw any pitch in any count.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what makes him who he is. He's part of the whole mix. Sort of the sum is greater than the parts, kind of a pitcher.
So the count full of 3-2. And it's these full counts that have his pitch count up where it is and why Hedrick is warming up.
Yeah, just 40 strikes out of those 75 pitches.
And another walk. Four walks and one hit by pitch. Let's take a look at the Optimum Fiber famously fast replay on Elmer.
Well, his major league debut, he's got the team in the game. And I'm sure he'll say afterwards, nerves played a part in maybe him not throwing as many strikes as he would have liked, but he's made some pitches when he had to and got himself into a jam here in the fifth.
So Matt Blake talking things over, also giving Hedrick a little more time to throw. You can see Boone ask Brad Ausmus, his bench coach, go to the phone, see if he's ready. Four walks, one hit by pitch. So here's Brandon Nimmo, first and second, nobody out. Another big spot for the 22-year-old. Nimmo was walked, was caught stealing, and had a fly ball to center. 3 for 9 in this series. Grounded and knocked down, slowed down by Rice, and everybody is safe. A base hit for Nimmo. Base is loaded.
Getting another look, because Ben Rice is so close, you don't have much time to react, but I'm sure he'll tell you afterwards he should make that play, even though he's so close.
You know, were they expecting a bunt? They were in the corners.
Yes, first and second, nobody out. You had to protect a bit, so that's why he was so close. And
pitch to Young is low.
Get an early read on a tough spot for a young pitcher right here.
Infield back, accept it first. 2-0. He had the bases loaded in the second, but with 2 outs, and he got Nimmo to fly ball to center. But this one is a little tougher. Bases loaded, nobody out. And now Yarbrough gets up alongside Hedrick. 2-0. There's a base hit through the left side. Osuna scores. Here comes Duran. Here's the throw from Schumann, not in time. It's a 2-run single for Young. And it's 2-0 Rangers.
sinker inside. Young's a good fastball hitter. Brings his hands inside, right in the hole.
And that'll do it for Elmer Rodriguez. Aaron Boone takes the ball, signals to the pen. Major League debut is done. He's given up 2 runs, 2 more left on base. It's time for Pinstripe Pride, brought to you by Toyota, the official hybrid vehicles of the Yankees. And tonight's picture is of Crystal and Carmelo, who are pumped for the Yankees to return home on Friday. Use the hashtag Toyota Pinstripe Pride. Mention yes in pictures you post to social media to reflect your love for the Bronx Bombers. We might spotlight you in a future game. And some congratulations for his Major League debut. And they turn it over to Hedrick against Seager. First and second, still nobody out here in the 5th. 2 runs already in. They have used Hedrick a lot. 16 games. This is game number 17 in the Yankees' 31st game. 1-1. Seager walked in the first, fly ball to center in the 3rd. Yankees looking for a double play ground ball here. Two and one. Check out the Yankee bullpen budget, brought to you by Citizens. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Bednar probably not going to be used today. The chance to see Cruz, and obviously we're seeing Hedrick, who threw 19 pitches last night. The Yankees 4-2 win. Or 3-2. Strike 3, and Seager is challenging. He thought it was outside.
The pitch was called strike. The batter's challenging.
Looked like a pretty good pitch to me.
And you are correct.
The call is confirmed. Texas is out of challenges.
Well, you heard Tyler Jones. No more challenges for Texas.
Right there at the knees.
I wonder if some batters are going to start doubting themselves.
Yes, that's the whole point. And I love it.
Now misses inside to Jock Peterson. Wave through that one.
Oh, you want to know what a sword is? That's a sword right there.
Strike. Bounced up there. Big spot to keep this game under control. Still 2-2. And the count is full at 3-2. Seen a lot of full counts in this game. Peterson's 0 for 2, fly balls to center and left. Ground ball, grabbed by Rice. He gets one, and Hedrick did not get over the cover. They probably wouldn't have gotten him anyway. So Nimmo moves to third, and Peterson reaches on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, this was hit hard. It's a nice little move in a backhand. Get your grip, get the out. 105 miles an hour to your backhand, and Hedrick, like most lefties, fall off to third base, and you got a late start, you're not going to make it.
Little issue at third base. Skip Schumacher checking out Nimmo. Maybe he hurt himself running from second to third. Just grabbed the back of his hamstring, so he's leaving the game.
Yes.
He'd gotten off to a decent start for Texas. So that'll do it for him. See who they replace him with at third. Like he pulled up just a little bit. Sam Haggerty is going to pinch run. So Peterson at first, Haggerty is at third, 2 men out, and that brings up Jake Berger. Berger 0 for 2, 1 for 9 in the series, and 4 for his last 40. Oh and 1. Yankees haven't played the pull with Jazz Chisholm up the middle. McMahon is deep and fairly close to the line. Fly ball right center. Long run for Bellinger, and he's there to make the play for the final out. But the Rangers get 2, they leave 2. We go to the 6th.
Just to Chackle with your Audi update. Garrett Cole making his third rehab start, pitching for AA Somerset today. Retired the first 11 he faced. The fastball touching 96 across 5 2/3. Cole allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, including 2 homers. Struck out 3, no walks, while throwing 60 pitches. Michael, we'll see what comes next.
Thank you, Justin. We go around the majors. More bad news for the Red Sox. Garrett Crochet, their ace, placed on the 15th AIL, shoulder inflammation. Blue Jays got back Trey Yesavage, and Gunnar Henderson has been hot. When we were in Boston at the beginning of this trip, the word on Crochet was the sweeper, which is such an important pitch for him, just was not working as it did last year, and people just sitting on his fastball. So now shoulder inflammation, not a great sign. Ben Rice leads off the 6th inning with a single against Eovaldi. That's his 2nd hit against Eovaldi. Here's Judge, 0 for 2. And a strike. They say Nimmo left the game with right hamstring tightness. Curveball drops in for a strike. 0-2. One and two. $14 for $45. Judge against Eovaldi lifetime with 2 home runs. Swing and a miss. Threw the kitchen sink at him on that one. Swings over the splitter, 1 away.
Well, it's been that way all night. And this is a true split finger fastball. You know, you compare that to sort of Fernando Cruz's forkball. That's the big difference. This is a true split finger fastball.
Bellinger takes a strike. Cody's 1 for 2, struck out looking and then laced a single to left. Bellinger 2 for 10 in the series. Berger holds Rice at first. Big cut on the cutter. 1-2. Jake Bird will be in next. Each team with 4 hits. Texas leads 2-0. Top of the 6th inning. Two and two. We've not seen him throw the 4-seamer that much today, and that was the pitch that had given him trouble.
Yeah, only 7 times has he thrown a 4-seam fastball. Only 5 times he's thrown a sinker. Everything else has been cutters and splitters.
Line drive, there's one, and a double play. Hit a bullet to Duran, and it's a 4-3 double play. Well, come celebrate Star Wars Day at Yankee Stadium on Saturday, May 2nd. There'll be appearances by your favorite Star Wars characters, and the first 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Max Fried Mandalorian bobblehead. Tickets are going fast, so get your tickets today at Yankees.com, and may the Force be with you. Evan Carter will lead off. Brent Hedrick still in there. So they're keeping him in to face the lefty. One and one. The Yankees trying to go 8-1 on this road trip. Swept the Red Sox. They took 2 out of 3 against the Astros, and the first 2 here against the Rangers. They go home for 4 against the Orioles. And then the Rangers come into town for 3 of their own in the Bronx. Then it's time to pack again. They go out on the road. Milwaukee, Baltimore, and then they'll play 3 against the Mets in Citi Field. Two and two. But the Yankees have gotten some potentially tough road trips out of the way. The West Coast, opening in the West Coast, they were 5-1 against the Giants and Seattle. And now this long road trip.
I was just thinking the same thing. if you looked at this part of the schedule right out of the gate, you'd say, wow, hold the fort down, get through that unscathed. Boy, they've done more than that. They've thrived.
Popped up. Who's going to get it? Jazz Chisholm will. One away. And the road's been kind to them, except for that 3-game set in St. Pete against the Rays. So with Higashioka due up, Boone's going to call on Jake Bird. Another good performance by Brent Hedrick. Here comes Bird against Higashioka when we get back. Well, fans, Yankee games on Yes are streaming live on the Gotham Sports app, included for free with your eligible TV provider subscription. Sign into the Gotham Sports app now and check out all the great Yankees content, including post-game sound, Jack Curry's News and Views podcast, and much more. Jake Bird against Higashioka. One out here in the 6th. And a strike. Higashioka 1 for 2 against Elmer Rodriguez, making his major league debut.
A good strikeout to walk ratio.
You like Bird stuff, don't you?
Well, I do. I like the fact that he's come up with kind of a cutter, to offset that sweeping slider and that sinker that he features, especially for left-handed batters.
That is ripped into left center, but a good jump by Grisham for out number 2. Grisham's played a really good center field in this series. One of the things that he was intent on doing was bettering the underlying defensive statistics from last year, where he was hampered somewhat by a hamstring injury. He said that's not him. And so far this year, he's played very well in center.
Last night especially, a couple of really good plays. Under 50% catch probability play. One he came in on was even less than that.
One and one on Osuna. Walked and hit by a pitch. One and two.
It's really about the first jump. You see how quick he is coming in. How many outfielders do you see kind of freeze or move back on that kind of play? That was about a 40% catch probability.
And another key in that catch is not to roll over on your wrist, and he played it beautifully. Because you can get hurt making that catch. Two. Now the pop-up on the right side of the infield. Ben Rice makes the play. And 2 Yankee pitchers retire the Rangers in order as we go to the 7th. Well, tomorrow night on Yes, don't miss Carlos Rodon's rehab start with AA Somerset as the Patriots take on the Portland Sea Dogs. Catch all the action tomorrow at 6:30 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Swing and a miss as Jazz Chisholm leads off the 7th inning. Love fried onions. Love them.
Not my favorite.
Really? Goes back to my White Castle days.
Oh.
0-2. Oh. I've not had a hot dog in 30 years.
You want one?
I would love one, but it would be going down the wrong path.
You like it, it doesn't like you?
No, it likes me fine. Ground ball to second. In the old Yankee Stadium, in the press box. They used to have the greatest hot dog, big hot dogs for 50 cents for the media. And every game, I would have 2. And I started the season weighing 225, and I ended at weighing 265. I said, well, this has to stop. And I don't do anything in moderation, so I just haven't had a hot dog in 30 years. Here's Max Schumann. 1-0. But I do miss it.
So a plate full of bacon's okay.
Yeah.
But a hot dog's not.
Yeah. That's how this mind works.
Okay.
One and two. Pretty gutty performance by Eovaldi so far. He's been struggling coming in. Other than the 4th inning, he's been economical. Two and two. Still no word on Jason Dominguez other than that he was hit on the back elbow, and obviously Meredith will have the latest information on the post-game show with Justin and Jack.
Nathan Eovaldi's thrown 92 pitches. Just 14 of them have been fastballs, either four-seamer or sinker. That's pitching away from your fastball, and he's done it very effectively. A lot of splitters, a lot of cutters. It's number 9 on the game right there. The 9th four-seamer. And Michael mentioned earlier he'd been giving up a lot of damage on that four-seamer.
Schumann fouls one off to stay alive. Took over in left field for Dominguez. Dominguez hit by a pitch in the 4th inning, stayed in and ran. But in the bottom of the inning, he was taken out, and Schumann took over and left. 95 pitches is his career high, his season high, I'm sorry, not his career. Good at bat for Max Schumann as he works a walk. See when Schumacher decides to go to the bullpen. Here's J.C. Escara, steps in as the tying run. He's 0 for 2. 6 for 30 on the season. Check swing, did he go? No, he did not, said Chris Conroy. That pitch has been so good for him.
It's the 10th time Yankee batters have swung and missed at that pitch today. Plus he throws it for strikes. 27 for 37 on strikes thrown with it. That's the key with a guy who has a good splitter. You have one you could throw for the strike and get it in the zone, and then one you miss down with for the chase. If you just have one for the chase, then guys stop swinging at it.
There it is again. 2 and 2.
It's been at the bottom or below of the zone all day long.
So the count 3-2. And now you make Eovaldi think about throwing the splitter that's out of the zone, because it could be ball 4 if you take it. So it becomes a little bit of a guessing game. Schumann leads off first. Lined into center field. Carter there for out number 2. All right, the word is left elbow contusion for Dominguez, which means his left elbow hurts, but they haven't really delved into it. Let's hope that's all it is. Meredith, you have more?
Yes, Michael. He was actually examined by Rangers team physician Dr. Evans. They did take some x-rays, and they'll do some further imaging when they get back to New York. So it's a wait and see on Dominguez.
All right, time for the 7th inning stretch.
Justin and Shaq with your Ford Studio update. Elmer Rodriguez in his debut, 2 runs in 4 innings, but also 4 walks. The raw talent was visible. Had a tough time harnessing it.
Yeah, we saw the pitches that the Yankees are excited about and will continue to be excited about, but as you said, just did not throw enough strikes. He threw 80 pitches, only 42 strikes. You face 20 batters and 9 of them get on base. You're probably fortunate that the game is only 2-0.
Let's go back to Texas with Michael and David.
Thank you, guys. 2-4-1 for the Rangers. Yankees being shut out with 4 hits. Rodriguez went 4+. Ben Rice 2 singles, so he has half the Yankee hits against Nathan Eovaldi, and Josh Young a 2-run single. We mentioned Jason Dominguez left the game in the 4th inning with a left elbow contusion after being hit by Eovaldi. Ford scoreboard, it's 2-0 Texas over the Yanks. Bird still in there. He'll face Ezekiel Duran. Ground ball, fair. Inside third. And that's going to go into the corner. Schumann digs it out. Duran round second. Thought about third. But Schumann got it in quickly, so it's a leadoff double.
He is a free swinger. Always has been. That pitch is down and in off the plate. And he lashes it down the line. First base coach wheeling him around. I guess you could say Ezekiel saw the wheel.
A bunt, and it jumped up and hit him in the face. Haggerty came in for Nimmo when Nimmo hurt his hamstring. Looks like he's okay.
Right off of home plate, right back at you, boink.
He lucked out a bit. It got him on the bill of the hat, didn't get him in the face.
Home plate's hard. It's a hard piece of rubber.
Boy, they used the bunt a little bit more than maybe they should. They're up. There's a runner at second. If you let the batter swing away, maybe hits it through the right side. Yesterday we saw a bunt with Peterson where Fernando Cruz made that great play to get the force at third.
You know, I agree with you. Giving up an out to advance a runner from second to third. On the probability maybe it's 50-50 that you'll get him in. Runner at third base, 1 out.
That's up the middle and through for a base hit. So Duran scores. It's an RBI single for Haggerty, and it's 3-0 Texas.
Well, this seemed like a better idea if you're on the Texas Rangers side. Or rather than giving up an out, you get an RBI.
a strike. Fair ball. And they get the force at second. Not in time at first. Well, they don't have any challenges left.
McMahon from that point, that deep, thought that's the right play, and it was. That was his easiest play, or not easiest, but better option. And wow. Kind of wish he had a challenge, right?
Yeah. Now you can ask an umpire to look, but it's got to be 8th inning on. We're in the bottom of the 7th. That'll do it for Bird. Well, Friday on Yes, the Bronx Bombers are back home to kick off a 4-game set with the Baltimore Orioles. Extended coverage starts at 5 with 2 full hours of pregame leading up to first pitch at 7:05 on Yes and the Gotham Sports app. Get to see Pete Alonso in an Oriole uniform as Tim Hill comes on. Now, just to wrap up the questioning of the bunt. First and second, nobody out, which they did yesterday. They had Jock Peterson bunt. You score more first and second, nobody out, than you do second and third, 1 out. So obviously they're not using analytics in a black and white way. Seager fouls it off.
First and second, nobody out. Little bit different story than second base giving up an out just to get him to third base with 1 out, because the odds of getting him in from third base with 1 out are 50-50-ish, always has been, around 50%. So you're giving up an out for a flip of a coin on third base with 1 out.
And with first and second, nobody out, you score 1.53 runs in that inning. Second and third, 1 out, you score 1.40 runs.
No, that's not factoring in defense or who's pitching or how good the bunter is.
There's one, and Hill does what Hill does. Gets a ground ball, 4-6-3. We'll go to the 8th. It's time for the United Destination Board. We told you a 4-game set with the Orioles. It's a wraparound, so the final game's Monday night, Friday night, and afternoon games on Saturday and Sunday. And then the Rangers come to town, 2 night games, and then a day game before the Yankees head to Milwaukee. So that's the United Destination Board. Hyundai scoreboard, 3-0 Texas. Caballero will lead off against the new pitcher, Jacob Latz. High. Opponent started 0 for 30 against Latz this season. That's the longest season-opening hitless streak in Texas Ranger history. There's a strike. The Yankees are glad to see Eovaldi out of the game. They were 0 for 9 with a walk and 5 strikeouts against the splitter. Fouls that one back. Yankees have 6 outs to make up 3 runs. They're down 3-0. Missed inside with the fastball. Latz, 29 years old, 4th big league season.
One of the reasons Aaron Boone bats Caballero 9th is almost the second leadoff hitter as we roll over here into the top of the order. So if he can get on base, can get the at-bats to Rice and Judge, maybe with a chance for 1 swing to get right back in it.
And that gets Caballero. It doesn't look as if he's taking first base. Are they looking at that as a foul ball?
I'm sure on the Texas side, they want to check for a swing. Off the bat.
Well, now they'll check with Chris Conroy. I don't know why they're checking with him. The one to check would be the first base ump to see if he swung. Now they're all going to get together and talk about it. Conroy is the crew chief.
Yeah, hard to tell for them just whether it hit the bat or his hand.
But even if it hit his hand and if he went around, the swing supersedes the hit by pitch. Maybe they're discussing that.
Yeah, it's a foul ball.
Yeah, that's right. There would be no swing if it's a foul ball. It's either hit by pitch or swing.
The ruling on the field is a foul ball. This is a crew chief review for a potential hit by pitch.
So since the Rangers want that review, they want it to be a hit by pitch because they think he went around.
Absolutely, that'd be a strikeout.
Right.
I mean, from the side view, you could get a better view of whether the bat was in front of the plate and would have been a swing.
Big call on this game right here. It's just really impossible to see how much of the ball hit the bat or the hand, because he was shaking the hand, so obviously it did hit the hand.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. It is a hit by pitch. However, it has been determined on the field by the umpire crew that the batter offered at the pitch. Therefore, he's out on strikes. Strike three.
Aaron Boone's not going to like this.
Really comes down to a check swing ruling is what it comes down to. It's a judgment call. In my opinion, I think you got it right. To me, that's a swing. Doesn't matter if it hit him in the hand or not. That's a swing.
That call, to me, is always a case of adding insult to injury. You just got hit, and you didn't hold up, so it's strike three. But that is the rule. So Caballero down on strikes. Back to the top of the order, Trent Grisham.
Used to see Ron Guidry get that with his slider down and into right-handed batters. He'd hit him in the back knee, and they'd take a full hack at it. That's how good his slider was.
Grisham 1 for 11 in this series. He's 0 for 3 this afternoon. On one hop, Duran. 2 away here in the 8th. There's Ben Rice, 2 for 3.
You know, ironically, if they would have ruled that wasn't a hit batter, it would have been a foul ball.
Yep.
The fact that it hit his hand, as you said, insult to injury.
So quickly, 0-2 on Rice. Jacob Latz lost the 5th starter competition to Kumar Rocker. But the Rangers said you'll still have high leverage situations. This is certainly one of them. Ground ball through for a base hit. Rice just keeps hitting. A 3-hit day for Ben Rice.
Well, this is what he's shown too. I mean, he waits and recognizes the ball and can go the other way. Lefty on lefty, again hanging in there on a tough lefty, and drills that the other way.
So here's Aaron Judge, 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts against Eovaldi. Grounded deep to third. Young across the diamond gets Judge, and that'll do it. Here in the 8th, Yankees strand 1. We go to the bottom of the inning. Time to name that Yankee. Those are the numbers. Started with the Yankees, traded to the Indians, finished with the Rangers. And it is the New London strong boy, John Ellis. And he was in a battle with Thurman Munson to be the catcher of the Yankees, and Thurman obviously won that role, and John Ellis was used in a trade to get the Yankees Greg Nettles.
Yeah, and became a great businessman too after his career. Started the Connecticut Sports Hall of Famer Foundation that has done so much great work up there.
And we lost
Connecticut.
John a couple of years ago, and his wife Jane still runs that great charity. It's a cancer foundation, Connecticut Cancer Foundation, helps so many families, and his work has his legacy live on.
Yeah, he's a special guy. As is his wife Jane, who continues the work.
What a great guy. So Fernando Cruz on again. Count 2-1 on Jock Peterson. By the way, we didn't mention this, and it does bear mentioning. Nathan Eovaldi went 7 innings. So for his career, or for the numbers over the last 10 years, he's now the first pitcher to throw 1,000 major league innings after a second Tommy John surgery. And he didn't have to become a junk baller. He's still a power pitcher. Into center field, coming on Grisham. He's getting the plate on a hop. So Peterson picks up a single. Take a look, and the vault. Some highlights from John Ellis, a big man from New London, Connecticut. He wore 23 before Mattingly made it famous. Then he played some first base because obviously Thurman had the catching position locked down. The old stadium. There's a strike to Jake Berger. You see the old stadium, which opened in 1923, and the refurbishment began in 1973, and the new Yankee Stadium, or the second iteration of it, opened in 1976. And I look out the windows here in left field from Globe Life Field, and it's so odd. There's a perfectly functioning stadium that was 20 years old, and it was really a nice stadium. It's now called Choctaw Stadium, and that's where the Rangers used to play, but it didn't have a dome. And so they built this, and they've done nothing with that, and I think there's like 11 high school football games that's played there. It's a functioning major league ballpark. Fly ball right field, Bellinger back. Retires Berger. And then on the same piece of land is Jerry World, AT&T Stadium where the Cowboys play, which is one of the most amazing looking facilities you'll ever see. It looks like a spaceship landed here in Arlington, Texas. Here's Evan Carter, bottom of the 8th inning, 1 on, 1 out. Yankees trail 3-0. And a strike. So this is the third stadium that the Rangers have played in. They used to play in the old Arlington Stadium, which was a former minor league ballpark. And it was different, man. That was a different place. The media would have to walk through the stands and then underneath the stands to get to the clubhouse. And you would dodge these rodents that were the size of little ponies. It was unbelievable. Did you ever pitch in that one?
Oh, yeah. I gave up a grand slam to Darryl Porter there.
Really?
Dead center.
And that's where Mattingly, I believe, hit a home run in his 8th straight game to tie Dale Long for the longest streak with a home run. And then it was later also tied by Ken Griffey Jr.
Talk about Texas heat. Those metal bleachers out in center field.
One-two on Carter, 0 for 3. Strike 3. Carter down looking. Let's take a look at Mattingly's home run. It's an 8th straight game.
Hey, did he get all of it?
Listen to Phil.
Holy cow, he did it! Holy cow, Mattingly is unbelievable. The opposite field. Holy cow.
So great. Voice of many of our childhoods. Pitch inside to Higashioka. And congratulations to Don Mattingly picking up his first win as the manager of the Phillies. Taking over from a friend, Rob Thompson.
The pitcher's called a ball. The catcher's challenging.
Escara is going to challenge that pitch called the ball. And he was right.
Call's overturned. New York has 1 challenge remaining.
And Rob Thompson came out of the Yankee farm system and worked forever in the organization. Showed how classy he was yesterday after being fired, taking all questions from the media. Other people hide when they get fired. You got to battle to find them, or they have a big reveal. Not Rob Thompson.
When's the last time you saw a fired coach, manager in any sport give a press conference immediately after you're fired?
He's just a special dude.
And handle it the way he did.
And in it, he said, this is the first summer of his adult life that he'll be doing nothing. He's been in baseball forever. So you're sad to see Thompson lose his job, and you're happy to see Donnie get another crack at managing. 2-2. Count is full on Higashioka. Marner goes, swing and a miss, and that'll do it. Higashioka down on strikes. There it is, Jerry World and Globe Life Field.
Only because we stayed at the same. Mattingly is now hitting. Holy cow! Hey, Don Mattingly, this bud's for you. Can you believe it, White?
Well, that's isn't that a new
American League record?
Reggie Jackson, the last one to hit 6 in a row. Now Mattingly has hit home runs.
Out of here, Rizzuto and White. So that was his 7th straight game, and then the next day was his 8th straight. Here in the Lone Star State. So they'll keep Latz in to try to get the save. 9th inning, Yankees have 5 hits, but they've been shut out. Rangers 3-7-1. Bellinger, Chisholm, and Schumann. So 2 lefties, so that's why they're keeping Latz in. Yankees looking for a 9th inning rally. Finish the road trip on a high note. There's a strike from Latz.
So Rizzuto just called his partner by his last name.
Yep.
What do you think, White? Okay, I'm gonna do that to you from now on. Okay.
He used to do it with Frank Messer too. What do you think, Messer? Ground ball and grabbed there by Duran. 1 away. Well, fans, after the final, I'll get highlights, analysis, clubhouse interviews, and we'll hear from the manager. Plus, I'll look ahead to the series with the Orioles. That's all coming up on the W.B. Mason Yankees postgame. Yankees down to their final 2 outs. Here's Jazz Chisholm Jr. He's 0 for 3 today. One and 0. So as the Rangers, who rallied in the 9th inning each of the last 2 nights, Yankees trying this afternoon, but there's 1 down. Two and 0. Two and 2. Two. So Jazz works the count full. Schumann on deck. High fly ball, right field. Osuna back on the track. He'll make the play. 2 outs. That's a deep part of the ballpark out there.
Yeah, I think Jazz will be happy to get back to Yankee Stadium. Just missed 2 home runs here.
So here's Schumann, who walked in the 7th. Came in to pinch run. Came in to play left for Dominguez. You can see Jazz unhappy because he's hit some balls a long way. Nothing to show for it. 1 for 12 in this series. Dominguez got hit on the back elbow, and Schumann took over in left field.
Somewhere Paul O'Neill is greening.
Two and one.
Not a water cooler, but that was a helmet. He's going to need a new helmet. Understandable, the frustration.
Three and one on Schumann. He can play a lot of positions, impress the Yankees in spring training. Called them up before yesterday's game. And now he becomes important with a possible injury to Dominguez and the release before the game of Randall Grichuk. Yankees could also play Caballero in the outfield, Rosario as well. 3-1. Yankees down to their final strike.
Latz has got excellent life on his fastball. Up at the zone as well. With that riding action.
Now this should do it. Duran, the call and the catch. And the Rangers shut out the Yankees 3-0. So the Yankees have a great road trip, but they finish it with a 3-0 loss. They'll come back to New York. Enjoy an off day tomorrow. They won 7-2 on a 9-game trip.
It's a great road trip. Elmer Rodriguez made his major league debut, and he acquitted himself well. He's a little wild, but all things considered, should be proud.
We'll come back with awards post game after that. Texas 3, Yankees 0. Texas wins 3-0. Game-changing drive the game brought to you by Audi and the all-new Audi Q3.
Well, Josh Jung came up with the bases loaded and really cleared out a pretty good pitch inside off the plate. It's a good fastball hitter. That's going to be a knock with 2 RBIs.
Now it's time for the Chevy player of the game.
And it was Nasty Nate, and he's still nasty. Well-known 15-year vet, knows how to pitch. It was fastball for show and splitter for dough. And he had a good one and had the Yankees off balance all day long.
So the Yankees lose 3-0 in 2 hours and 43 minutes. Evaldi picks up his 3rd win of the year. Latz's 2nd save. Elmer Rodriguez in his first big league start, his first big league loss. Coming up on the Yes Network, stay tuned for the WB Mason postgame show with Justin Shackle and Jack Curry. Special thanks to producer Troy Benjamin, director Dan Barr, Mike Webb, and the executive producer of the Yes Network is Jared Ames Boschnack. Join us again on Friday when the Yankees return to the Bronx to begin a 4-game series against the Orioles. Coverage begins at 5 p.m. on Yes, with first pitch coming shortly after 7. Once again, the final score, it is 3-0 Texas over the Yankees. For David Cohn and Meredith Morakovitz, I'm Michael K. saying see ya from Globe Life Field here in Arlington, Texas. Now let's go to Justin Shackle and Jack Curry standing by in our Yes Network studios with the post-game show. Guys.